Premier League is back. Erik Ten Hag's Tricky Reds in action tomorrow against Brighton to kick off our Premier League campaign. And let's get into it, man. So United are going to look to seek some revenge, I hope, on Brighton. They smashed us last time at AMX. It was 4-0. It was bad. Brighton, on the other hand, do look a lot weaker than they did last season. They've lost Basuma to Spurs. And Ciso isn't ready to start in the Premier League yet for them. They've got another saga themselves, which looks like it's now completed with Cucurella. He's obviously gone Chelsea. There's holes in midfield. There's holes at left back. There's holes, right? I think they're probably going to line up with the usual 3-4-2-1 formation, very adaptable, and adjust that formation on the fly, depending on what the opposition are going to do. They're just about the only team in the world football that I know of at the moment that seemingly change shape, formation, and personnel match by match basis to almost no consequence. Very, very, very well drilled. Love to know how you get not just one plan into players, but several. It's actually very impressive. Offensively, they are a possession-based team. They like to build up play slowly through the thirds. They do play great football, but they're also pretty good at going long if they need to when they're necessary. They create triangles. They get +1 all over the pitch, and they find 1-2s, intricate play in the final third and around the box. Brilliant template for any football club to follow. Defensively, they look to mid and low block. They make it compact, make it narrow. They limit the opposition any ability to play out through wide or through the centre. They go with 4-4-2, 4-4-1-1 at times. It's a low block when they play back four formations, but sometimes if they've got a back three, it might be a 5-4-1, 3-5-2, 5-3-1-1, variations of that sort of stuff with a three centre-half sort of structure at the centre of it. Regardless of the shape, the most important thing that they do in that formation, though, is the distance between the lines is absolutely minimal, and they don't allow anyone to take any space off them whatsoever. They shuffle sideways, and they're very, very good at it. Probable lineup, then, I think probably Sanchez, Veltman, Dunk, Webster, Lamptey, Mwepu, Gross, March, McAllister, Trossard, Welbeck. Now, the fact that we're even going to talk about whatever we're going to put into this, that 11 should not be able to compete to the level that it has done in the Premier League, which just tells you the job that they're doing down there is absolutely out of this world. Starman, I think it's going to be Trossard, really underrated footballer, nippy, technically brilliant, really intelligent, both with the ball and with his movements. The positions that he takes up really combines well with the other teammates, especially in the final third. He's a powerful dribbler. He's got a 75.6% completion rate with his dribbles, which is nuts. He's in the top 1% of players in his position for that. Constantly looks to drive the team forward. He reaches the penalty area. There's a mix of speed and strength, and it makes him one of Brighton's biggest threats. Got to watch him if you're going to pick up the 3 points. For United, I'm going to go with De Gea, Malacia, Delo. And the big decision is what to do in defence. I think it'll be Martinez and Maguire, and I don't think it'll be that for very long. I think if Varane's fit, he gets himself in. But I think right now it's probably going to be Martinez and Maguire to kick it off, just over match fitness and stuff. Then I think you've got another big decision to make. It could be Fred and McTominay, right? Which we've discussed this already. Fred's actually looked decent on pre-season, McTominay not. But they come as a package. It's Ant and Deck. You can't book Ant without Deck. Personally, I would go with Eriksen and Fred. I think he will go with McTominay and Fred. And that's another experiment that I think he will get tired of. And I think it will soon be Eriksen and Fred. Until he hopefully gets De Jong over the line. And I think it will be De Jong and Eriksen. Which is such a ball-playing, bold midfield. But I'm here to see it. Let's see what it does. So I think it will be McTominay. But I hope it's Eriksen. Ahead of him, Bruno. And then this is the big one. The big decision one here now. I think he plays Ronaldo. And I don't think he wants to play Ronaldo, but I think he plays Ronaldo. I think it's Sancho off the right and it's Rashford off the left. And I don't want him to play Ronaldo. I didn't want him to play Ronaldo. But I think lack of sensible other options. Look, you could say, yeah, play Elanga and he's going to run about a little bit, but you need that win. And even though I don't think he was very impressive against Rayo Vallecano, it is Ronaldo. And he could score you a goal. So I'm going to have to say Ronaldo up front. Match winner. It's been our best player all pre-season. That's Jadon Sancho, a.k.a. Jason Sanchez. Been disrupting the back three, especially in their weakened sort of left centre-back, left-back area. I think that's where he gets in, makes space, wins the game for United. His movement in that area and that close control dribbling that he's got could prove very deadly for United, especially if we can get the ball to him fast. Can he carry the pre-season form into the opening day? We better hope he does. Down the right-hand side with Delo and the newfound confidence and status that Delo has got within the team could be massive for him. How'd you beat them? Well, you counter-press and you counter-attack. Brighton's possession-based style of play and the way they dictate does leave them vulnerable to the counter in a similar way to the way City and Liverpool are, just not quite on the same level. They want to play out the back at all costs. They're not necessarily just going to twat it long, certainly from the goalkeeper. That's an opportunity to win the ball back and to press them high, so I expect to see that from United. Most of the chances that they concede come from being pressed as they're playing it out, but they just do it regardless. Lamptey can be caught high up the field. He is a threat, conversely, but he can be caught high up the field, so you can target him behind him. If Marcus in pre-season didn't impress, but he didn't disappoint, really. He was kind of just in the middle. You're hoping that he can kick on and find something that's impressive and blows you away. This is the opportunity. He's going to be up against an extremely attacking fullback who, if Lamptey sits back, Marcus is going to struggle because he's got the legs to run toe-to-toe with him. But if Lamptey gets forward and the ball gets played in for Marcus and Lamptey's not level with him, Marcus is gone. And that's the sort of game that really suits Marcus. If he can get his head up and deliver something into the box for Sancho or for whoever it is that starts up front, his confidence is going to start to the season. He might start coming out of his shell mentally. Real positive game for him. Midfield will be where this is won and lost. And that's why I worry about it being Scott McTominay. Our midfield needs to be as ready as Brighton. It needs to be good on the ball because they will overload it. So you can't be sloppy playing your passes in there, and you're going to have to go in there needing to work. You're going to have a strong game in and out of possession there, which is why I'm happy to see us investing in midfield. Bruno's going to have to play a little deeper, which he did on tour and was actually impressive when he was there. And defensively, our left-hand side, Malacia could have a baptism of fire. Marcus is going to have to help him out. They're going to have to double up because Lamptey's going to come down that side, and he is a concern. You can't not track him. We saw Marcus not tracking a couple of times last season. Hopefully Ten Hag has dealt with that and is going to make him out. And also Trossard in that side as well. Malacia has got a job on his hands. This is going to be... I've been talking about how much he looks like Paddy Evra. I hope it's not a debut like Paddy Evra's. How about that? Our weakest defensive area might be their strongest defensive area. So, offensive area. It's a tough ask, and Brighton have become a tough ask. On paper, it should not be a tough ask, but it will be a tough ask. If we come through this with flying colours, it's one checked off, move on to the next. It's a good start for us, but it's a tricky one. It's not an easy one. Let me know your score predictions in the comments, and I will see you lot in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.